There's a buzz in Salt Lake City. They've waited 11 weeks for their Archers to come home, and they finally have. The defending PLL champs will play before a sellout crowd tonight with the Western Conference Championship on the line. Welcome to the PLL on ESPN, presented by the Utah Sports Commission. Utah and Denver come into this game tied atop the standings in the Western Conference. Winner take all. Score differential won't matter. If you win, you get to win the West, and you get that all-important bye in the quarterfinals. Paul Carcaterra and Chris Cotter with you, Carc. This is huge news. Schreiber, he's the defending MVP, won this championship for them with the game-winning goal in the final minute in the championship game. Now he's out.
It's massive. When you think about Tom Schreiber, I mean, generationally, he's one of the best midfielders we've ever seen. He is the league MVP. He's also the leader of the Archers. Handing over the captaincy to Ryan Ambler is one thing, but you miss his presence on the field, too. He's the best passing midfielder in the game. He leads the team in assists. He's the quarterback of this offense from the midfield position. It is a daunting task with the injury of Tom Schreiber for this train to continue at the level that it has.
Okay, so if they wanted to continue from a personnel standpoint, how do you make up for his loss?
I think there's two players that need the ball in their sticks more. It's Grant Ament and it is Connor Fields. Ament is an attackman and a midfielder, a flex guy. He's a phenomenal passer. This year he's been more of a goal scorer. He needs to quarterback the offense and go back to a little bit of his old role as well. Last night he was magnificent with 5 points. And then you have Connor Fields. He is a dramatic player in terms of his creativity and the way that he can get to the rack. I look at these two players with much heavier weight on their shoulders. And then you have Jack Van Overbeek. I mean, this is a rookie. He played in his first game in the PLL. Last night he scored an incredible behind-the-back goal in the fourth quarter. And when the game was on the line, no Tom Schreiber, he's out with an injury. Van Overbeek, the shovel shot. Low angle, goal line extended, up the hash on Jack Kelly. Game, set, match. Utah goes nuts.
Archers lineup powered by Ticketmaster.
Graham Hossack's an eraser. They need him to be the cover guy that is one of the premier players at that position tonight. Ryan Ambler's now the captain. Amen. And then what about Trey LeClaire? Talk about a chameleon that's played so many different roles for Chris Bates. He's been awesome in 2024. Don't forget about Mac O'Keefe, stretch shooter extraordinaire. And look for Grant Ament to find O'Keefe. They played together at Penn State. Yeah, defensively, you have a track cop and Michael Manley. He can man the middle. JT Giles Harris, I think, will be a first-team All-Pro this season. He's been an eraser. At midfield, Bundy stretches a D. Justin Anderson can pass, do a little bit of everything, and Sam Hanley has the ability, when he's on, to be an extraordinary dodger. Eric Law has been the glue of this offense. Since he entered the lineup and was picked up about a month ago, he's been a difference maker in terms of just a calming presence for all this young talent. You have a veteran in Law who doesn't need the ball in his stick much, but he has a profound impact.
I love that headshot of Nick Grill. Looked like he belonged in Deep Purple or something like that. Definitely some characters tonight. How about the current odds to win the Cash App Championship? You can see these two teams. Certainly there are favorable odds for both of them, but those odds will be shortened significantly for the winner tonight because you get that bye in the quarterfinals with the number 2 overall seed. We are underway. Mike Sisselberger, Luke Weirman, another one of those rookies. Weirman out of Maryland, taking draws for the Outlaws, and they win possession to start the game.
You know, Sisselberger was awesome last night, but he struggled against Weirman earlier in the season down in Charlotte. Weirman was part of that run that led to O'Neal having the 9-point outing.
Quick shot.
I'll tell you what
also.
also.
Won by Utah. Sorry, Cart.
Yeah, I'm sorry for interrupting there. When you think of Utah also, last night we saw firsthand what a crowd can do for an organization in terms of just getting behind them. There were 2 instances this season where you really, really felt it. Up in Boston, and last night Utah, you felt the home crowd getting behind the Archers significantly, and it was a difference maker down the stretch.
No question about it. It is a packed house tonight. Beautiful evening here in Salt Lake City. They want to see their reigning champs in the PLL take the first ever Western Conference title. LeClaire steps into this one and scores. That gets them on their feet.
You miss Tom Schreiber so much, but missing him means playing for him, and you just see the juice of this team. Look at when Connor Fields passes this, how pumped he is to get the rock to Trey LeClaire. You see the early double. All the eyes are on Field because he's in the lethal dodger, but that allows Trey LeClaire to get his hands free and just step and rip. Caley, what do you have down there?
I was talking with his teammate Nick Washuta, the backup goaltender. Both LeClaire and Washuta live in San Diego during the year, so he gets plenty of time trying to stop Trey LeClaire's shot. And he said that the biggest difference that separates LeClaire is just the amount of power he can get from that spot, but his ability to change the angle on a dime like a hockey player. It's incredible.
Anderson picks up a big GB. There's O'Neill, 42 in white. Circle him anytime you see him on your screen.
Talk about a big boy matchup, right? Graham Hossack. Dude's got muscles coming out of his ears against Brendan O'Neill, who's a physical freak.
That time you had Ferrara, cross Ferrara, turn the corner. Wasn't able to get a good enough angle on the shot. It'll stay with Denver, though. Here's Josh Zawada. Shot clock winding down, so he just dumps it behind the end line. And Utah will regain possession. 52-second shot clock in the PLL. Unless it's off the face-off, then it's 32 seconds. Or if it rings off the pipe or the goaltender on a shot, then it resets to 32 and you get to keep possession.
So more Connor Fields, more Grant Ament, and I think Ament is going to have a pull on him the entire game. Now that Schreiber's out, they're not going to mess around with 16 in orange. He is a big-time player this season.
Fields gets it back to LeClaire. LeClaire runs into a defender and shoots it high.
Snapped his stick. We're seeing a ton of that.
A lot
tonight.
of sticks being snapped today. Must be the altitude combined with the dry heat. Ament shoots. Can't get anything on it. He drew a lot of attention. Now flags are going to come out. Matty Palem's our referee.
Outlaws foul number 1. Illegal cross check, 1 minute.
JT Giles Harris will sit for a minute with the illegal cross check. Check it out.
Sliding, supporting, and helping. Yes, his hands are separated. He can't lead with the stick there. That's an easy call. Tom Schreiber not playing too. It's a massive void on the power play because he's so good passing the ball from up top to the low angles, right? That's where he feasts when he's up a man.
Ament will get it started. Get it to LeClaire. Up top to Augevin. Ryan Augevin, 42, playing today in Schreiber's absence. That's on the far side, Connor Fields, 5 in orange.
Augevin could shoot from up top. Can't pass like Schreiber. But then again, what midfielder can?
Tough angle for Ambler to Augevin. Back to Ament. Skip pass. Ambler's going to step into it. Now passes it to Fields. Tried the behind the back shot. And they score! Fields eventually got it back and was able to beat McElroy.
More Connor Fields means more offense for the Archers tonight. O'Keefe gets the initial behind the back shot. It's deflected almost off of LeClaire, I think, and then Fields, Johnny on the spot, and then dances around the crease area. It's a big weekend for Fields, playing for Utah right outside of Salt Lake City. I know that his wife and young child, son Finn, I think it was his first flight. He's an infant under the age of 1, jumped on a plane to watch Dad play for the first time. Dad's off to a pretty good start.
As are the Utah Archers. Up 2-0. Here's Eric Law. As Denver tries to get into its offense. This team was 1-9 last year. Missed the playoffs. What a turnaround it has been for Tim Sudan. And they've had an up and down year, but mostly up of late. The second half, they've really seemed to put things together. You talked about it in the open, all the young players, all these rookies, they're finding their way right now in this league.
Yeah, and Owen McElroy at his best weekend of the season. Last week down in Denver when they were home, I thought McElroy was awesome with 12 saves, only 4 goals against when they played the Chaos and won 10-4. Saved 75%. You get him playing well, you get an eraser in JT Giles Harris, you get all these rookies. You know, there's a week in Fairfield. They scored 15 goals, 13 from the rookies.
O'Keefe is able to get a shot off, shoots it wide, stays with Archers.
Watch the pick here. Fields will use a pick, will roll into it, or split into it. Wants his left hand. Everyone knows he's going lefty. It doesn't matter.
McElroy goes down to make the save. That's his first of the day. Lead pass is just too far for Pacino, picked up by Hossack. Now he's on the move. Gets it to O'Keefe. And Overbeek. This rookie continues his onslaught. Had 2 last night, give him another one today.
Hopefully, Van Overbeek didn't think too much after winning the game. Last night, in overtime, the rookie's back for an encore. Steps into it. Archers have been able to solve McElroy early. They're up 3, at home and feeling it. Winning the West obviously would be a massive, unbelievable accomplishment for both of these teams, but also winning and losing. I mean, the difference is huge. You win, you're the 2 seed. You lose, you're the 5.
Weirman, he's not afraid to shoot, and he does and scores.
I've seen this all too many times not to respect Luke Weirman and pick him up. I know that you got to deal with Eric Law and Brendan O'Neill. Luke Weirman is an athlete who is exceptional with the ball in his stick as a shooter. You don't pick him up, he's going to make you pay. And he just blasts that by Dobson. You got a decision to make if you're a defense. If you're Graham Hossack, if you're Warren Jeffrey, do we pick him up? If not, that's what's going to happen.
Weirman and the Outlaws respond in 4 seconds.
These battles at the stripe are awesome.
Love the sound with it. We get to Pacino with a nice GB. Another rookie. O'Neill, we thought about letting that red bouncer.
O'Neill's going against the lefty and Hossack. I think he doesn't want to get into his body, right? Because Hossack has that strong V-hold. I think O'Neill would be smart to use his speed and sweep across the top of the arc. So deadly doing that.
Cross Ferrara wants to roll and does, but no problem for Dobson.
You know, Cotter, I was talking about you're either a 2 or a 5 seed. You could argue if you're the Archers, though, without Tom Schreiber, you might want to play to get into the flow and figure out what life is like without him, right? Obviously, everyone wants a bye, but in this case, pieces to a puzzle, right? And figuring things out.
McElroy with a great save, his second of the day, robbing Grant Ament. O'Neill, he's going to let that one fire. A lot of heat on that low shot, but missed the target.
See, it's interesting. A lot of times you want a big, hammering right-hand defender on Brendan O'Neill to play to his strength, him being a lefty. The issue for the Archers, their 3 starters are all lefties. Mason Woodward, Jeffries, and then obviously Hossack.
Sam Hanley nowhere to go with it. Now to O'Neill on the left side. Now he fires. Loose change in front. Anderson picks it up but can't find the goal. Still 15 seconds to shoot for Denver. Zawada. He question marks. Can't get it on target. 8 to shoot. You think the sun is going to become a factor here, especially for Dobson on this side? You got the shadows, and he's looking right into the sun on the when he looks to the right, to his right.
Why don't you sit down right now. I know we're standing. If you were to sit down, that's the angle he's dealing with.
And I'd have burned corneas. Hanley takes the shot. Rebound right in front.
What a grounder.
Mason Woodward, the rookie.
I think they got away with a push. I thought he was pushed.
Sticks flying everywhere. Staying with Utah and Hasek.
What a grounder by Woodward. I thought Denver got away with a push with possession. He was clearly pushed from the back.
Now we get a flag, a later flag. This one's going to go against Denver. So a delayed call, free possession here for Utah. Amen on his horse, coming up field. Tries to get it inside, but that pass goes wanting. Now let's get the call from Matt Palin.
Fouls on Outlaws, number 18, 30-second technical, offsides.
Offside against Denver. Utah will get the power play, leading by 2. Coach Sudan for the Outlaws.
That's Will Haas, short stick defender. Power play for the Archers, 38% entering the weekend. You got some shooters from the outside, obviously on the right side with Trey LeClaire, bookended by Mac O'Keefe at the lefty, so you have a nice outside presence. Ament will have to be the passer here on this unit.
Shot wide by Fields. And Overbeek. Ambler now back upfield, O'Keefe. Amen. Tried to squeeze that pass into Fields.
See the stick work though.
The shot goes wide.
Oh,
I mean, it's hard with the glare on the field and Fields on the far side. It's almost hard to even see the stick work. It's so fast.
You just feel like Fields has a bigger presence in this game with no Schreiber.
McElroy makes the save. Ball in front, though, really dangerous right here. Van Overbeek picks it up. A little bit of dishevelment. Now Ament says settle down a little bit, as they got a free 32-second shot clock now. So in no rush, Ambler. That's Fields. Work on JT Giles Harris. Look at the triple team come. And Fields still comes out of there with it. Tried the tough pass to LeClaire. It was tipped, so it's a free ball here. No over and back. It's going to be picked up by Hasek, but the shot clock is going to wind down to 0.
You got to live and die with that with Connor Fields. You know, sometimes he'll want to create something and get out of a mess. But there is the turnover potential when he's getting triple teamed. It could be the highlight of all highlights or a turnover.
Bundy on the run, fires, hits the crossbar and almost into the stands.
Yeah, if you're wondering if he has an offhand, we see so many of these right-handed swooping bombs from 2 range. There's a lefty on the run. Here's the swooping motion.
O'Neal.
Top. He's got to stick with this matchup here.
Tried to use his speed. His teammate fell down.
That's the move, though. That's the move, even on the pole and Hasek. Get them to bite low and then come up top and use your speed. And his shot, when he's running towards the middle, is lethal.
Dalton Young rolls, can't get a shot off. Now we'll get a flag. Gonna go against Archers.
It's gonna be a push with possession.
Do that. Answer the class and go. Fouls on Archers, 54, 30-second technical, hold.
He got him with a hold here. That's Piper Bond. Thought he maybe pushed him at the end. Oh, no, that's the hold. That's the right call.
Inside,
yep.
Brought him down.
It's a good call. Dalton Young, another rookie. I mean, this was a franchise a year ago. Kind of a dumpster fire, right? They were last in like every offensive statistical category. Tim Sudan drafts exceptionally well. Totally new face. You bring in Eric Law.
That's been a big pickup for them. Mid-season, Eric Law, the veteran, former Outlaw in a previous life.
Big.
Former New York
Beyond
Atlas.
big.
He's just solidified everything, and that shot goes wide, and Anderson gets dumped.
4 games before Eric Law, minus 12 scoring. 5 games with Eric Law, plus 12 scoring.
Power play, successful Anderson. Well, Anderson wasn't happy about it. He's still not happy about it. He's jawing. He got dumped after the last shot.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hear it. Anderson's been heating up too, along with Eric Law. That is a good finish. He's feeling it. He's going to talk, and he's going to tell him about it. He only had 8 points in his first 6 games. His last 3 games coming into tonight, 9 points. So the combination of Eric Law being acquired and Justin Anderson waking up has this offense percolating.
And Anderson has played a lot of roles for them, too. Two-way player, can play some D-midi if you need him to. We'll see him on the field a lot, 21 in white. Sisselberger wins the face-off back. Wires now looking for help and finds it. Overbeak tried to find the cutter, can't work. Long shot down, as there's still a half second left, 5 seconds left rather.
This crowd, what a scene. Utah bringing it once again. Last year they did it. They're doing it once again. The backdrops of the mountains, one of the best views the sport of lacrosse has ever seen. Defending champs. No Tom Shriver, they're still up 1. Trey LeClaire and crew playing for their captain, inspired. The rookie Van Overbeek comes to the party. Things are popping.
3-2 our score at the start of the second quarter. PLL on ESPN is presented by the Utah Sports Commission.
Herriman's off to a good start, Cotter. He's up 5-1 at the stripe against Sisselberger. In that last game when they played down in Charlotte earlier in the season in June, he won 12 of the last 14 faceoffs.
He also has a goal earlier on in the game to boot. Sisselberger won that faceoff, but bad pass to Mac O'Keefe means a turnover, and Terefenko trying to make him pay. D-midi Ryan Terefenko brings it into the offensive end. It's Anderson coming out of the box. 21 in white, looks like a man determined tonight. Hanley, big fellow with a full head of steam, and finds the back of the net.
You're talking about determination. That was a determination dodge by the second-year pro, Sam Hanley. Couple of weeks ago in Baltimore, you saw his game explode. He was assertive, he was aggressive, and he wanted pay dirt. This time he goes after Cam Wires, who is not a small dude. Sam Hanley just gets into the body with that left shoulder, and in one motion, it is drive with the shoulder, shoot with that right-handed hammer.
Takes some abuse from Wires, too. He was still able to get plenty of power on that shot. We'll get a loose ball hold. It's going to go against Sisselberger and Utah.
When Hanley was able to drive, it actually freed up his hands to shoot because he put so much pressure into Wires. The hard thing is it's difficult to shoot on the run when you're putting all that force. To do it in one motion.
Here's O'Neal. Cross Ferrara coming upfield. He shoots a bouncer and scores. Second-year man at a D3 Salisbury. It was a great story last year and continues that into 2024.
You saw him in Denver, too, go to the rack against a short stick. There's just no contact there. Connor Marr has to make his presence felt. And at goal line extended, you have to initiate contact on Cross Ferrara. From the minute he picked up that ball to above goal line extended, there was nothing from a contact perspective from Marr. Marr has to get in there.
Denver started poorly shooting, 1 for 14. They're 3 for their last 5, so they're heating up. Here's Anderson, cutting back to the middle of the field. He'll shoot on the run. Bounces it too high. Hey, tomorrow night, Sunday Night Baseball live with the 7th annual MLB Little League Classic in Williamsport. The Yankees battle the Tigers at 7 on ESPN with a special Kids Cast edition on ESPN2. Baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown begins everything at 6. Here's Hanley on the move again. Tried to get that on the doorstep. Ends up being the 5th turnover of the night going against Denver. On the move, LeClaire has his shot altered. It'll stay with Utah as Van Overbeek chases it down.
Van Overbeek, the rookie, burst onto the scene last night in the absence of Matt Moore, who's injured as well. Gets the overtime winning goal. Now he's being defended by JT Giles-Harris.
There's Amen, had the shorty matchup he liked.
How about that for a weekend,
goal.
Cotter, right?
Yeah.
For a rookie. It's your first game in the PLL. You're going to score the winner. The next game, JT Giles-Harris is going to guard you.
It's going to be in your mug all night long. Fields now turn the corner. Nowhere to go, though, with Manley all over him. One-handed. Nice save by McElroy, though.
That had some heat on it. That looked like O'Neal's shot last week in Denver.
Pacino tried to get it to him, and just behind him enough for Grant Amon to pick up the ground ball.
Look who's getting a defensive grounder again. They call him G. Grant Amon.
Now he'll run to the sideline for a little bit of a breather. You'll see Ogden getting some run. LeClaire. He's got Nick Grill all in his grill. Now he rolls back to his left. Scores!
You're not going to see a lot of those. Trey LeClaire going to his offhand. But he just feels the defense suffocating his right hand. Grill is just playing him as a righty, daring him to go back to the left. And right in front of a defensive pressure. That is a spectacular shot as the slide is coming. If he waits another beat, no way he gets that shot off.
Ends a 10-minute and 19-second drought for the Utah Archers. Going back, knotted up at 4 apiece. Sisselberger wins the draw and quickly gets it back to a teammate. That's going to be a fun battle all night long, Kark. I think those two are very evenly matched. Zawada picks up the ground ball. Denver back on offense with Law. Bundy. On the short stick, Connor Marr. Back to his right, Marr doing an outstanding job. Here's O'Neal. Tough angle. Dobson shut the door.
He's so good. Dobson is a bright star in the league for years to come.
O'Neal with 13 touches and 5 shots so far today, Kark. You talk a lot about it, that 30 touches. He's got to get 30 touches in a game. That's sort of the Mendoza line with him.
Yeah, well, 1 week up in Boston, he had 7.
Yeah, when he's below 30, they're not successful as a team. When he's above 30, they've got a winning record. Got to get him above 30 today, and he's got to make more of a shot. Look at that pass, almost got to Ambler. That was a great pass, but it gets through.
Look at the wheels on Terefenko.
Terefenko inside, Law finishes. The wheels and the pass.
We've got a battle. Tarasenko knows what's at stake. Winner takes the West, gets the 2 seed. An Outlaw legend parked in front of the crease. You call that automatic. And if you know Eric Law, everyone respects him. And honestly, I don't think he would lie. He's like the boy next door.
Yeah, he's like, Matty, come on, you know I wouldn't lie to you. Matty's like, yes, you would. Herriman right now winning the battle with Sisselberger, 8 face-offs to 3. And it does seem like the field is tilted a little bit more in this quarter to this direction.
And I think there's a situation right now where the Archers have to do something to get this crowd into it. Right?
Yes.
Like they need a pop play.
Maybe a fast break goal right here because these long scoring droughts have this big crowd sitting on their hands a little bit. O'Keefe, maybe he can make something happen. Gets free from Grill, takes the shot, can't beat McElroy, and quickly the other way.
McElroy read that low the entire time. And O'Keefe has the capability of rising that ball.
Yeah, you know that Dalton Young is kicking himself for missing the cage on that shot. Utah was in disarray a little bit defensively. He had a great look.
That's the best time to go to the rack, too, when the defense isn't settled. Get those 5-on-5 situations, substitutions.
Zawada had a great look, but it was too high. Now O'Neal looking to dodge on Piper Bond. Gets it over to Ferrara. The bounce shot is high.
I feel like Denver's using the turf a lot. They're shooting a lot of bouncers on Dobson. It almost seems like that was their scout on him for high bouncers.
Now Zawada's got his defender hung up. Look at all the activity in front. Trying to get it to O'Neal, a little bit of a force, and Hasek was there. Shot clock violation. Utah will start quickly.
Hasek's not an easy matchup for O'Neal because he's not going to give him an inch off ball. The dodging's the dodging, right? That's one aspect where O'Neal could, in space, have an advantage. But off ball, he's going to give him nothing.
Ambler, stopped by McElroy. He's so sharp tonight early.
Low, too. I mean, he's gobbling everything up on the turf.
Tarasenko weaving his way into the offensive zone.
This guy plays with some energy, 34 in white.
Team USA, short stick D-Midi when they won the Worlds last year in San Diego. Staying on the field to set a pick for Zawada. Anderson. Down the alley, comes back upfield, now spins back to his left underneath the defender and scores! And stares down Connor Marr.
Those are college teammates at the University of North Carolina that both played under Joe Bresci. And that's the second time now that Marr's been taken to the rack by Cross Ferrara and now Justin Anderson. And Anderson lets his ex-teammate know it. And once again, it's the lack of contact. Marr's too late in terms of initiating the physical aspect of defense. Don't get me wrong, Connor Marr's put together a really good 2024, but tonight, he's been taken to the rack now twice.
Sisselberger will shoot, it's too high, but Fields backs it up to keep possession.
Be careful if you're Manly here. Don't get caught up in the baiting game with Connor Fields as a Dodger.
Heyman shoots wide. Don't forget Labor Day, Monday, September 2nd, PLL Cash App playoffs get underway at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Action begins with the first quarterfinal at 4 Eastern on ESPN2, followed by 6:30 on ESPN+. Shot hits the back of the cage. Under 3 to play in the first half. Manley brings the ball across the midfield line, and Coach Sudan was like, let's call a timeout, right? let's just call a timeout and get settled in. We're going to take a quick break. It's going to be a laundry break. We'll see you in a few seconds. Don't go anywhere. Zions Bank Stadium holds a capacity of 5,000 people. This is sold out with standing room only. Great crowd tonight. Here's Bundy on the run with his left. Just missing by about 2 inches high of the crossbar.
You know, it's interesting. A lot of standstill righty shooters like Bundy from Room like to shoot on the run lefty. It just mechanically, it just flows.
Dobson just completely shuts the door on that near side post. 6 saves in the first half. And here comes Patterson. O'Keefe. Two-point shot from Augerman, low shot. McElroy goes down to make the save. Under 2 to play. Quickly in transition, O'Neal hits the pipe.
Whoa, watch it. Man. The skill level and just how hard these guys shoot.
O'Neal needs a breakthrough here, doesn't he?
He does, but he's got Hasek on him. He's going to limit his touches.
So players like Zawada got to make up for it.
Maybe set a pick for O'Neal, too.
Law. Just wide, and he knows it.
And if you get into the pick game, you play the big little where you bring a short stick, then you could get a matchup for O'Neal and get him away from Hasek a little bit as well.
Ferrara again trying Piper Bond. Dobson going out after it, and Bundy dumps him. Utah was out of bounds, so Dobson's going to hurry back and get in goal. Under a minute to play. Crowd doesn't like it. Dalton Young and company can pretty much play for the last shot. There's about a 2-second difference in shot clock and game clock. And Dalton Young has his eye on it. Connor Moore waits defensively. Zawada can give him a pick if he chooses. Back to Zawada. O'Neal cuts, gets it, but can't quite squeeze the pass.
I'm telling you, Hasek's so good off the ball. He's so good off the ball. He's a veteran. He knows how to play the body, times the cuts, plays the pick game. That is a buzzsaw of a defender to deal with in Graham Hasek, 81 in orange.
Timeout before the ball was put back in play by Chris Bates and Archers.
So big TJ Malone is the rookie of the year. He's second in the league in overall points heading into the weekend. Maryland whips on a bye, but Malone, the third rounder, steal of the draft.
Yeah, and Stagnita, you could make the case that
he's done an amazing job.
He could be coach of the year in the league.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't get much of an argument. Speaking of arguments, a few choice words among friends as we go to the half. Maddie wants to share a laugh, comes in, breaks it up, and we head to the locker rooms.
Leadership of Eric Law, you heard him under the mic. I mean, it's a team now. Like, they're comfortable with each other. You think back to early in the season in June when they beat the Archers in Charlotte. They come from behind for 7 goals.
Yeah.
Man on!
And then they had a couple of games like the one in Boston. You and I called that game. We thought, this doesn't look like a playoff team at all. But then
they didn't show up. That was pre-Eric Law, too.
Second half of the year, they're a completely different team. Once they inserted him into the lineup, these rookies started getting a full season under their belts. Here's one of them right here, checking defensively, Pacino. And he makes a beautiful check. And he causes the turnover. What do you got for us, Caley?
Just more on Eric Law. You could just see the difference when he's talking. It's a great thing for Coach Sudan because it's like having another coach, another voice, and the message from the coaches doesn't get stale then. He grabs the expo marker and starts drawing up plays. So, I mean, like you guys talked about, I don't think you can say enough great things about what he's done for this team.
It's a great point, Caley. And when he was live wired under the helmet, you heard him saying Bolty. That's their offensive coordinator, Jeremy Boltis. Like, he's in unison with Boltis in terms of the play. And as Caley said, using the dry eraser, it's essentially like having a quarterback, a seasoned guy like that. That's an extension of the offensive coordinator. They're calling the same plays.
Amen still has the ball. Now we're going to get a flag. Finally gets rid of it. Here comes the whistle. Amen was down on the ground as he was taking some hacks.
Hear that crowd?
They don't like their star taking a few hacks when he's on the ground.
I thought after the push was more egregious. They called the push.
They may be talking about more than one call here.
Yeah, might be.
2 fouls on the play on the Outlaws, both on the same player. 48 for the Outlaws has 30-second technical push and a 1-minute slash. So 1 player down for 1:30.
Sam Alexo is going to have to sit for a minute and a half.
Yeah, this is, okay, gets him with the push. That's a good call. That's an easy 30. And when the player's down, he just starts hacking away here, right there. It's out of the screen there. He's just laying the wood.
Sam Alexo pressed into service with the injuries over the back shot. Wide to Jesse Bernhardt and Greg Weil. Power play. And a long one at that. Heyman got it back after he tried to feed it inside on the doorstep. And it's finished off by Fields.
Kudos to Grant Ament. With the loss of Tom Schreiber, where are you going to find those diagonal passes? Well, don't forget about Grant Ament. The first one doesn't work, and he just finds Connor Fields with a beautiful pass through the defense. And you see how he uses his body and his head to get the defense to think upfield, pumping the fist, feeding your finisher in Connor Fields.
Archer's successful on the power play tonight, 2 for 3.
Now Schreiber throws that through pass as well as anyone. And all the years I've watched Grant Ament, he's right up there in terms of throwing that pass. That is a really difficult pass. And the reason it works so much with Schreiber and Ament, they change the level of their sticks. They start high and they give a nice, like, underhand lever pass that's impossible to knock down.
LeClaire. Van Overbeek, the rookie, gets a pick. Now he's got a shorty on him. Up top, LeClaire fires for 2, scores! There you go. The crowd is back in it.
Get it, Trey. Make them feel you. Home crowd needs the juice. LeClaire has been awesome tonight. We saw a lefty on the run shot in the second quarter, this time from range. Van Overbeek sees the eyes of a defense. LeClaire, so smart to stay well above the goal or that 2-point line because he knows where the goal is and he knows where the pressure is coming from. By him staying high, that gives him that extra room for a giddy-up. The problem with a lot of players is they hover right on the 2-point line, Cotter, and by the time they catch it and they plant and rip, they're in front of the line. He stayed so high, and by staying high, he catches it, and he gets that extra little crow hop.
3 points in 33 seconds for the Archers. They're back on top, and the crowd's back in it. Sisselberger, look at the abuse he's taking. And dishing out. Still has the ball, takes a shot, it's high. How does he do it?
What a beast. What an absolute beast, right? Like, you can never question his toughness.
That was ridiculous. Closing the gap on the face-off deficit as well. He's won 3 straight. It's now 8-7. McElroy steers it aside. Did he get a piece of it? No, still 10 seconds to shoot. Archer's gonna have to move quickly. Instead, it's a turnover. Grill picks it up. To Haas. Will Haas on the run. Here's O'Neal. Will he pick it up here in the second half? Give the Outlaws a lift.
When we talk about Eric Law and his leadership, this is a moment where he kind of pulls the jersey of O'Neal and says, let's go. Get to the rack. Even if it's a mistake, he needs touches.
Instead, it's Hanley who tries for it. Stays with the Outlaws, but just with Zawada closest to it.
Do you know what I mean? It's a matter of just believing in O'Neal. Telling him, we need you to go to the rack. Test Hasek.
It's been Cross Ferrara who's spent a lot of time turning the corner. And he takes that shot off the pipe. Dangerously in front, but Hobson picks it up.
Got numbers here. Got numbers. Utah's got numbers.
Shot score! It's Woodward!
Watch the release. This is sick. Just a rookie. Double sevens, Mason Woodward. All over the field for Marquette as a college player, paying dividends. Look at that release. That is sweet. No one picks him up. Tucks it underneath Bundy, and McElroy has no shot tracking that. JT Giles is too late. Mason Woodward feeling it.
Denver calls timeout. The lead is 2. We'll step away for 30 seconds. Don't go anywhere, folks. Looks like we're going right down to the wire tonight.
Time winding down, and the stakes could not be higher.
This might be the biggest moment of his life, Anish.
Actually, with Better.com's low interest rates and easy digital process, I'm already pre-approved for my home loan.
Alchemy from Trevor Baptiste.
The king of speed when it matters most.
Guys, it's easy.
Fast and easy from anywhere? Visit Better.com.
Dobson, not only an outstanding game between the pipes in terms of making stops, but this was an outstanding outlet. Kark, you said it right from the top. They had numbers. Dobson recognized it, and he got it quickly to Woodward.
Absolutely. I think Woodward did such a good job anticipating that the ball was going to get flushed out to Dobson, so he stayed high. And by staying high, it gave him such an extension in terms of the space between the trailing defender who's trying to get in the hole.
Now it's Denver's turn to deal with the scoring drought. They're just 1 for their last 11 shooting. 4 straight points for Utah to forge this 2-point lead. Face-off violation. So Denver will get possession here, and Terefenko will pick it up. Get it to Bundy Jr. Terefenko will check out. Here comes Bundy down the alley. Has a step on his defender. Help comes. Denver will move it around. O'Neal. Gets it out of his stick to Anderson. There's Zawada. As Young falls down, Zawada now gets it back to him. He'll shoot. Out of bounds. Our next WNBA game is tomorrow on ABC. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever host Jewel Lloyd and the Seattle Storm. Coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern time.
You know, Neal's got the 6 shots, but he's got no goals. And he's been held in check by Graham Hasek. I'm not opposed to having him run through the box.
Right.
And changing up the matchup. And if Hasek wants to follow him up there, I mean, O'Neal in space can have an advantage on Hasek. I think O'Neal in tight quarters with Hasek, advantage 81 in orange.
Fields trying to use a pick. Nice job of coming upfield. Ambler was stoned though. Now here comes Pacino. He's a danger man. Gets rid of it. Shoots it wide. That play was perfect, all except for the finish from Zawada. Utah quickly gets back into the hole defensively to avoid the quick restart by Law. And now to O'Neal with still plenty of time, 35 seconds to shoot, so Denver can get into their offense with Sam Hanley. Young. Oh, gets clocked. Just stick on the ground. How does Dalton Young come out of there with it? He is a bulldog. Look at O'Neal, fakes the shot, gets a better angle. Now she throws it up top. I don't know who he was throwing it to, but Pedersen picks it off. He shoots on the run and scores!
The sport of lacrosse is booming in Utah. The local boy from Park City, playing for the Archers. He gets the pick six. He is home, Cotter. He is off to the races. Bo Pedersen, what a moment for the rookie. He's home, and he's hitting the back of the net.
Lacrosse back in the Olympics in 2028, first time since 1908. Last time the Team USA got together for the Worlds last year, the short stick D midi group might have been the best ever assembled card. Yep. And I wonder if Bo Pedersen might be a part of LA 28.
He could be. I mean, he's a player that obviously can play some offense too.
I can't hear, dude. The crowd's yelling. I can't hear the fucking down.
The PLL was ahead of this sixes format by implementing the Champ Series too, and that's a terrific product. But the Archers now on a 5-0 run, 4 of their last 8 shooting. Denver, flip side, 0 for 4 shooting during that same span, 3 turnovers.
Will
so
this man, 42, will he take over? Coming off a pick.
There's
now
the
he's
pick.
got the shorty on.
Stick it
Pedersen on the run, wide.
He's got to stick that matchup. Get to a spot where he's really comfortable. That's what I was calling for earlier. I think, you know, you bring a short stick there. And if Hasek has to fight through it, O'Neal's athletic enough to get a jump. If he wants to switch, he'll get a short stick.
Here's O'Neal rolling back into the center of that defense. Tried to feed it inside the Law. Shot clock winds down. Buzzer sounds. They have missed their last 10 shots and have gone stone cold on the offensive end. And it's allowed this team, this Utah Archers team, to take over. Ament now looking to dodge, saw Terefenko or felt him coming, dished it off. The rookie again! Jack Van Overbeek. What a story this guy has been. 2 goals last night, 2 goals tonight.
Filling in for Matt Moore this weekend has proved a couple things for Van Overbeek. 1, the kid can play in this league. 2, if Matt Moore comes back in time and gets his spot back, teams will want this guy in the offseason if he's not protected. Van Overbeek has had an incredible weekend. What a shot on McElroy. Just stings it right underneath the crossbar. You look at what he's done in a 24-hour span, right? The behind the back in the fourth quarter last night. The overtime game winner against the California Redwoods, and then multiple goals again.
And gives the Archers their largest lead of the night inside 4 minutes to play in the third quarter.
And you know what I love about his game too is he's so well versed. We've seen him score left-handed, right-handed, above the goal, behind the goal. Like, this kid he's legit.
And how about the confidence this veteran group has in him now? The Amens, the Leclercs, the Fields. Here's Leclerc. Shovels it wide.
The best thing for Van Overbeek, too, is he didn't have like a week to marinate on last night's performance. Like, the best thing for him is get back on the field.
Amen inside, gets leveled by JT Giles Harris, and he'll raise his hand. He'll raise his hand like, yeah, I leveled him, but of course I had to. It's like a basketball foul, and yeah, I did it.
Outlaw foul. Number 1, 30-second technical, push.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah, that had to happen.
Yeah. You know what, though? It's not a bad foul.
Probably saved the goal.
It's the same as, like, you're talking about basketball. Guys going up for a dunk.
Yeah, I'm not going to let it happen easily. Fifth power play of the night for Utah. They're 2 for 4 so far in the night, so they've had a lot of success without Schreiber. Man up. Ogevin shoots it.
Got to be careful there without the backup. That was close.
Just barely got it backed up with Amen. Behind the back. Scores! Fields! Connor Fields, magisterial. The lead is up to 5 as we take a look at the replay. Amen found him cutting. His only shot was behind the back, and he buried it past McElroy.
Connor, it's Clark up in the booth. We've seen so many crazy shots out of you this year. When do you decide to go behind the back when you catch that?
I think, kind of when I crossed the center of the net, felt like it was a last resort. I mean, great feeder makes a shooter, so obviously Grant with the great feed, and I feel like if I shot that overhand, I would have had no angle, so I just decided to go BTB on it.
What's this moment like for you, playing in front of the home crowd and your son coming to watch you play for the first time?
It's awesome. Having my son here, my wife here, my parents here, it's been awesome, but I mean, this crowd, I feel like it's been the best so far this year. Might be biased, but it's loud, and you can definitely tell they're playing an effect on this game.
Keep doing your thing.
Thank you, thank you.
Cash App powering the athletes under the helmet. And Utah has taken control, and they've gotten this huge partisan crowd back into this game. Ogevin tried to find Van Overbeek. Check that. That was Ambler. Pass goes awry. Labor Day, September 2nd, PLL Cash App playoffs from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Action begins at 4 Eastern on ESPN2, followed by the second quarterfinal game at 6:30 on ESPN+. Now on the run, Bundy. A lot of heat on that shot, but it wasn't even close.
Talk about an explosion out of the Archers, right?
This
game
thing
was tied up.
Yeah. Dobson makes the save. Behind the back shot by Law. That one doesn't go in, but the second one does. Law might have thought his went in. Just too much action in front of Dobson.
When you're playing an elite goalie like Dobson, you gotta crash the boards. He's so incredible at making in-tight saves. The flip side to that is there's going to be some opportunities for the rebounds and the follow-ups.
2 BTBers. That's the first one.
Yeah.
That's the second one you can't see because Dobson's just flopping around.
Wow.
Trying to get back on his feet. Here you go.
Here it is.
So Law
yeah,
first.
Makes
that save.
Yep. Followed up.
Yeah, Bundy.
Oh, Bundy went BTB too. That was beautiful.
Yep. Chaos in front of Dobson. Dobson was just praying at that point on his tuchus.
Herriman needs to go on a run. When they beat the Archers down in Carolina, he won 12 of the last 14 faceoffs. That has to happen tonight. It's almost like a carbon copy.
He was getting the better of Sisselberger in the first half, and Sisselberger's made up all the ground.
He has, and now Herriman's only up 11-9.
O'Neal back to his right, now back to his left again. That shot got deflected.
I thought he had that one-handed shot again.
You know he has a lot of power with that one hand. Bond on the run. Van Overbeek. Here's Fields on the far side, back to Van Overbeek at X. Archers want to change out. Defensive personnel out, offensive middies in. Whoa, including Dyson Williams, who got knocked off his line.
He's a big dude.
Yes, it's not easy to do. Manley brings it into the offensive end, gets it to O'Neal. O'Neal gets it back. Surveys. Manley on the run. Hasek gives him some attention, gets it back to O'Neal. Swims. Can't get by Hasek though. Moves back to his left on the run. Shoots, bounces it over the top.
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with. Hasek has a lot to deal. O'Neal's 0 for 9 shooting. Just can't find the back of the net.
Tip your cap to 81 in orange, the job he has done tonight.
Exactly. You could say 0 for 9, he's just not hitting his shots, but there's a reason he's not hitting his shots too.
Young back to his right.
As a defender, you're flushing him out to poor angles. You're getting on his hands right before he releases it.
Final 20 seconds of this third quarter. Wrap around Sheck. Pettersson lucky he didn't get a call against him. Now the help comes, and it's beautifully timed.
That's a double. It's all about timing a double. Well played, Archers. Well played. It's like piranhas feasting, right?
Long shot at the buzzer. Maybe hoping for a deflection. Instead, the horn sounds to end the third quarter. And it was a beautiful quarter for the hometown Utah Archers. It ain't over yet, but they wrested control of not only this game, but the Western Conference. Denver's got one quarter to get back into it. They're doing it from distance. They're doing it on the run. Long poles scoring goals, D-middies, and then, of course, a BT beer from Connor Fields. All Archers after 3. Tom Schreiber is here in a sling, got injured in last night's game, out for the rest of the season, including the PLL Cash App playoffs. But he's here to cheer on his team. Got a big cheer from the crowd here when he took to the sidelines.
What a class act he is.
They understand the importance he is to this franchise.
Checks every box.
Sisselberger, he's been huge in the second half as well, coming downhill like a cement truck.
I don't know how he does it. He takes a beating. I mean, it almost looks like he has a magnet to contact.
Leclerc.
The pass by Fields, the anticipation of Leclerc coming out of the box. He got a jump in the numbers game. Fields smelled it. The nice lob pass, and plenty of time for Trey Leclerc to hit the back of the net once again. Leclerc has been magnificent. Chris Bates loves it. Loves it.
That's great.
That's awesome. I will tell you, Tom Schreiber is such a class act and such a leader of this team. This is going to be a dangerous group because they're going to be playing for their captain, 26 in orange, the rest of the season. He will inspire them. The team will come together because everyone's going to say they can't win without Tom Schreiber.
8-1 run for Utah. And Denver is reeling right now on the road, desperately trying to come back to salvage this game and somehow win that Western Conference. It's an uphill battle now.
Good news is they're good from 2, second in the league, only behind the Cannons.
Anderson gets hammered, does get a shot off. Long gets the bounce pass and stoned by Dobson right on the doorstep. He's got 10 saves. Grildo picks up the loose ball, gets it to Bundy. Yeah, Bundy is ridiculous from 2-point range, so when you have 7 on your team, you've always got a shot to come back in games.
He's tied for second in the league with Matt Campbell from the Cannons with 5.
O'Neal. Gets it to cross Farrar, now behind the goal to Zawada. O'Neal's got to find some way to get more involved. Just to take over this game. Zawada comes upfield, tries to roll back to his left. Can't get anywhere.
This Utah defense has been real.
Hanley shoots. Free in front. Mark can't pick it up. Good hustle by Hanley to kick it free to O'Neal.
You know, you don't think about this defense enough.
O'Neal shoots from 2-point range.
Coming into the weekend, Cotter, tied with the Chaos for the least amount of goals allowed the entire season in 2024. And it's a unit that had to plug some holes too. Jared Connors traded to the Redwoods. Matt McMahon retired. Had some injuries. But they have come together and they have an elite stopper in Brett Dobson and an eraser in Graham Hossack. That's a good start. Some depth at short stick D midi.
Yeah, 2 of the best young D middies last year, and then you add Pedersen to the mix this year. Here's Zawada, puts it into play here with Young. Young is a bulldog, 11 in white. Anderson. Double teamed.
There's the defense.
O'Keefe, smart. 5-point lead, backs it out, gonna run some clock, gonna run the offense. Caley, what's up?
That's exactly what Coach Bates talked about. Perimeter, support on the perimeter, take your time. He's been talking about pacing to manage this lead.
Still 30 seconds on the shot clock. We've wound inside of 10 minutes to play. Amen. Has no angle to shoot, but he does have a shorty on him, trying to muscle his way in, instead behind the goal. Van Overbeek lost it initially. Fields shot, couldn't get anything on it. Now Tarafanko will clear it. Denver's 1 for 16 shooting this half. Hanley. Ferrara to O'Neal, can't handle the pass, tracks it down though. Still 20 to shoot.
This is where he should take a running start on Hossack in space.
There you go, he gets by on the one-handed shot. Misses the target though. Ogden's on the field, playing defense. Race to the ball, won by Archers. Hustle plays are going the Archers' way too. Here's Piper Bond. Law is unhappy with the call. He's letting the officials know about it, but it's going to stand. And you know, the Archers can take another 52 seconds off the clock if they choose. O'Keefe. Play a little 2-man game up front with Dyson Williams. Williams can't get it. We'll get a moving pick, I believe, on that play. Going to go against Archers. Almost got it back, though. Physical play that time by Bars. Bars getting some playing time today. Colby Bars.
Yeah, the rookie out of Towson. Played for Sean Nadelin. Played in the MLL for many years.
Bundy's going to shoot for 2. Dobson sees it all the way right in his cross. 13 saves for Dobson. And again, the clock just ticking away. Ament loses it. Chance for Denver on the run. Terefenko from behind will get a call. And that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's a push with possession.
What do you got, man? Archer's 44, 30-second technical, push.
Trey LeClaire will have a seat. One last look as we go to break. Denver on the power play when we come back. Tonight's Player Spotlight presented by Champion. What moves you, Connor Fields? And what moved Connor Fields was the absence of his captain, Tom Schreiber, tonight. A lot more on his shoulders, and he stepped up and certainly was up to the task. 5 points on the night, 3 goals, including 2 of them here in the second half. And his inspiration might very well have been Tom Schreiber. He's standing by right now with Caley Chelios.
Tom, Coach told us before the game that this game is dedicated to you. What have you thought of your team's performance as they rally behind the loss of you in the lineup?
Yeah, they've been awesome. They've been playing with a lot of pride. They've been playing hard, and I think this crowd's given us a lot of juice too. We definitely have an advantage playing here. It's been incredible, and we just want to finish this thing out.
I was going to say, with the crowd's energy, how did you feel walking onto the field, the response from your teammates throwing up their arms and how hard they've worked, how grateful they are to have you back here on the sideline?
Yeah, it's incredible. We talked about it before the game. It's, we want, this fan base to be proud of us. We want to reflect them, and we want to be a hard-nosed team that plays hard and plays with a lot of energy, and we've done that so far tonight, and got to finish it out in the last 6 minutes.
It has been the next man up mentality. What have you thought of Fields and even some of the rookies up in the lineup today? Van Overbeek.
Yeah, those guys have been awesome. Vano in particular, he had such a good camp for us. I'm not shocked to see him come out and play the way he's playing. He's awesome, and Connor Fields and Grant Ament, guys who have been doing it all year long, have been awesome and really stepped up. So it's been great to see.
Thanks so much for your time. Good luck in your recovery. We're all thinking of you.
Ouch! Kosick lowered the boom on Bundy after he buried the shot. Now, was this a 2-point shot?
I
so
think
we got the
was.
2-point goal,
right close to the
and
line.
they're going to get a call, so they'll be back on the power play.
And this is why Bundy's so unique.
Good 2-point goal on the play. Archer's foul, number 81, 1 minute, unnecessary roughness, late hit.
He doesn't need much time. Bundy, yep, and one. He knows it. Look at this release. That is a thing of beauty. He shoots it right off the hip of Hosick. He takes the hit. But what I love about Bundy for a rookie is how quickly he gets the shot off, but his recognition of where the 2-point line is. Like this season, you rarely see him taking an outside shot and his foot's on the line. Like he sets up that deep range shot well in advance before he actually shoots it.
That viewpoint with the sun setting behind was unbelievable by our crew in the truck. Great job. Sisselberger wins the faceoff, which was a huge faceoff, by the way, man down. Ament's going to look to kill some clock here. Got 22 to shoot. Look at the soup in front of the net. That was a desperation pass. Shot clock winding down, though, inside of 10, so they killed all but 34 seconds of that 1 minute man down. O'Neal has 35 touches on the day, but he's 0 for 11 shooting.
Watch 7 in white.
Coming onto the field now. O'Neal directs some traffic.
They're giving him some cushion.
Skip it to Bundy, but doesn't have much of a look. Here's Zawada up top, trying to get it inside to Anderson, but he couldn't really get a shot off. Covered very well by Warren Jeffrey. Sent down by Utah, and that's just a kill against some clock. We're back to even strength. O'Neal fakes a shot, gets inside his defender, can't beat Dobson. And he's going to be called for in the crease. It just has not been 42 in White's night.
From that spot, I think he's better off going over the top and finding space than getting into a body situation with Graham Hossack.
Archer's up 3 and willing to kill more clock. Amen. Over to O'Keefe. Nope, that's Fields. Every time Fields, O'Keefe shoots from distance, it'll stay with Archers. Every time Fields touches the ball here on the wing, I'm waiting for some slickness.
Yep.
I'm waiting.
You see it percolating when he's going to do something crazy. You can smell it.
Ament on the run with 12 seconds left. Trying to back into his defender, flying through the air. Can't get anything on it. Dyson Williams finds it though. Over the back shot by Fields. That would have been something else.
Fields got pushed late. Surprised they didn't call a push on the Outlaws there.
Eric Law in Denver wants to move quickly. Got a deficit to make up. It's 3 with 3 to play.
If I'm Utah adjacent, I am pressing out on Graham Bundy Jr. I am not even thinking about giving him an outside shot to cut it to 1.
Anderson. Here's Bundy. Steps into it. Man, that had a lot of gas. 54 shot of the day for Denver, but Dobson was all over it.
See how Dobson just is so calm and poised, though? He doesn't guess. Just sits on it.
And then plucks it right out of the air.
I look at Dobson, and I look at Liam Entenmann as the future of this league. Blaze Reardon is the present.
Ambler showing the speed, the ability to run. We're going to get a holding call on Terefenko. Won't matter. Dyson Williams. That may just about do it, Cart.
It's going to be tough with 2 and change. We saw in the first game.
Good goal on the play. We had a hold that gets wiped out, all even face-off.
For the New York Atlas, Peyton Cormier with 5 goals. Labeled just a finisher. Well, just a finisher is what you need in the game of lacrosse. Find a guy who is automatic inside. There's Peyton Cormier, there's Dyson Williams for Utah. Guys that both scored over 200 goals in college in the ACC. And one was drafted late, one wasn't drafted. But make no mistake about it, they belong on a team because they know where pay dirt is.
Now Denver's got to move quickly. Weirman staying in the game. He knows time is of the essence. Now he's in a little bit of trouble looking for help. Sudan will call a timeout. Zawada comes upfield.
You see how they're playing him when it's adjacent.
Bundy shoots. Dobson makes the save. 7th save of this quarter alone and 16 for the game for the Dauber.
Yeah, he closed the door.
Now Denver's got to press out here. It's desperation time for them defensively. Got too many men on the field going against Utah, but Mac O'Keefe almost was able to get the turnover. Piscino's got to work quickly. Terefenko scoops it up. Bundy. That shot was blocked by Hossack.
That wouldn't even been a 2. That's what I talk about, 2-point arc recognition. Dalton Young didn't have it. Graham Bundy gets it. You create enough space so you can catch and plant and rip.
Under a minute to play. Fans on their feet here in Salt Lake City. Their Archers just seconds away from sweeping their homecoming and securing the Western Conference title and the #2 seed.
And they played 7 quarters this weekend without their star and Tom Schreiber. And they come away with 2 victories. You talk about momentum heading into the playoffs.
O'Neal on the run wide. And his frustrating night is just seconds away from coming to an end.
Utah, you know how to embrace lacrosse. And your Archers gave you something to root for. What a special weekend. In the backdrop of the Wasatch Mountains, the Archers go 2-0. Something to clap for, something to cheer for, in the hopes of defending your championship. The Denver Outlaws down the stretch in the 4th quarter. Kudos to Brett Dobson.
Quarterfinals are set on Labor Day. It'll be Boston and Carolina at 4 Eastern, and then Denver will take on Maryland at 6:30. For Paul Carcaterra, Caley, Chelios, and our entire crew, I'm Chris Cotter. Thanks for watching the PLL on ESPN.